Paradox forms are a brand new concept introduced in Gen 9, a revamped, futuristic look on some classic Pokemon. There's a total of 10 future forms and 10 past forms. All future Paradox forms have the same ability, Quark Drive, which will boost their highest stat by 30% or 50% of its speed. It's activated in electric terrain or activated instantly with a booster energy item. I wish they all didn't get the same ability because it's kind of boring, but luckily in Emerald Elite Redux, they all get new abilities. And on top of that, they've added an original future Paradox form. These Pokemon can almost be legendaries, so I'll be ranking all 11 of them from worst to best. In the base games, one of the worst of these forms is Iron Thorns, and that is also the case here. That doesn't mean it's terrible, but it has its struggles. Statistically, it's the same as the base games and they're nothing too special. On top of Quark Drive, it gets a few notable abilities. You can choose between Fearmonger, Solid Rock, and Light Metal. Fearmonger is one of the better abilities as it can help out the team as well as help it survive more hits. It can also set up with Dragon Dance or Swords Dance and deal devastating damage. It's even been given Bolt Strike as a really strong stab option. Self-repair can keep it alive longer, while contacting it can hurt you due to sharp edges. Unfortunately, it isn't tanky enough or fast enough to be spectacular. Loaded Dice is more of a viable item over Booster Energy, but it doesn't make that much of a difference. Iron Treads is the best hazard setter around. It has decent bulk and speed, 120 defense and 106 in speed, as well as 10 resistances, allowing it to set up any hazard it wants. This is much easier with its signature ability, Watch Your Step, setting up a +2 spikes on entry. Iron Treads is an incredible lead Pokemon because of this and can destroy certain teams right at the start. Lots of Pokemon have Focus Sashes or Sturdy, and it makes it really challenging to sweep through teams. It of course gets access to Body Press, meaning it can use its defenses to threaten on offense, especially with its ability Let's Roll. As valuable as it can be as a hazard setter, it doesn't do a whole lot else and struggles to do much later on. The reason it's not the worst is because it still makes an impact even when it's been taken out. Iron Boulder is the Paradox form of Terrakion, and it's more of the same, mid. Its stats are decent, 124 in speed and 120 in attack. One of these will get a boost from Quark Drive, but it also has decent special defense. The abilities it can choose from are Mold Breaker, Keen Edge, and Violent Rush. I personally think it works well with Violent Rush since it can come in and immediately do great damage, especially with Booster Energy raising its attack as well. Keen Edge works well if the speed is getting boosted, as it can take advantage of all kinds of slashing moves like Psyblade, Mighty Cleave, and Sacred Sword. One of its innates is Mighty Horn, so all drill and horn based moves are being boosted. Again, this Pokemon is a bit tanky, but lacking in power. 7 super effective weaknesses also makes things very difficult. One of the most disappointing Paradox forms to me was Iron Jugulus. I really expected more from it, but it failed to deliver. Even its stats don't look amazing. 108 in speed paired with 122 in special attack means it will need help getting KOs. The good thing is though, once it gets started, it can do well thanks to its Hubris ability, which is basically just Soul Heart raising its special attack by +1 after a knockout. This is helped by its innates as well. Multi-headed, letting its moves hit more than once, and Rapid Response boosting its speed and special attack on its first turn. Great coverage allows it to threaten a lot of Pokemon, but sometimes its dark and flying moves can lack power. One of the main problems I have with it is when it doesn't have the boosts, it fails to take out bulkier Pokemon and has a lot of trouble surviving hits. Iron Moth on paper sounds completely broken. 140 special attack with 110 in both speed and special defense. Having a great attacking power with good speed is always solid, but it doesn't end there. Majestic Moth will boost its highest stat by +1 when it enters the field. Throw on a Booster Energy and that stat is being boosted by another 30%. Just entering the field, Iron Moth can have a 748 special attack. It even has a priority fire type attack, which even with low base power is going to do great damage. Although its speed isn't the greatest, it can use the busted setup move, Quiver Dance. This actually boosts up all 3 of its best stats and it can get crazy. If it's running Molten Down, rock types won't be able to resist its stab fire attacks, and if it's running corrosion, steel types can't hide from its stab poison. You really need to keep it away from any physical attacks, but otherwise it can be a great sweeper. Iron Leaves has been much improved. Its stats have actually been changed in this game. Its speed is now 130 and its attack is 104, flipped from the base game. Taking away that much power seems like a bad thing, but because of its ability Momentum, all of its contact moves are unaffected from this drop. This also means it can invest fully into speed, including its booster energy. It's even crazier if you can put it into electric terrain, as Surge Surfer will boost its speed up even further, making sure it not only always goes first, but hits super hard. Dazzling will prevent anything from trying to use priority moves to take it out by bypassing its speed. However, it unfortunately suffers from 7 super effective weaknesses, including a 4x weakness to Bug. Also, the fact that it can't set up its own electric terrain is a problem for me. Lack of diversity in its move pool left me wanting more from this Pokemon. The last of the futuristic Swords of Justice, we have Iron Crown. Again, this Pokemon's stats have also been changed from the base games, as it now has 108 in speed instead of in its special defense. It can be solid both offensively and defensively. Fearmonger is such a great ability. On top of giving it Calm Mind, it can easily live plenty of hits and do great damage back. Technician is what I preferred, as its signature move Tachyon Cutter is busted. It's boosted by Technician, Stab, and its innate ability Mystic Blades. Since it hits twice, it's essentially a 230 base power move and breaks sashed Pokemon. It even hits both Pokemon in doubles. Speaking of doubles, it also gets access to Expanding Force as well. Of the 3 Swords of Justice, I found Iron Crown to be the most consistent. It still has trouble with its power in certain situations, but it's by far the most reliable. Iron Hands is an absolute tank. There's no way through this thing with physical attacks. 154 HP paired with 108 defense is amazing. On top of that, 140 in attack means it can answer back. The extra abilities it have lean heavily into these skill sets and make them even greater than they seem. Giving it the Lead Coat ability reduces physical damage by 40%, so like I said, it's almost impossible to get through. Drain Punch can easily be used to mend any damage it takes. Since it has an abundance of HP, it can easily use Belly Drum. Since it gets 2 stab priority moves in Mach Punch and Spark, this can become a scary situation fast. The innate Power Core will use 20% of its defensive stats for its moves, meaning investing EVs into its defense can still give it the power it needs. Iron Exo is the only original Paradox Pokemon in Emerald Redux. It has an awesome design and the very rare type combination of Electric Ghost. Its stats are pretty crazy. 140 in both special attack and special defense. It has low speed and isn't very bulky, but it has ways to make up for it. One of my favorites is with its ability Volt Rush, which gives all of its electric moves +1 priority at full health. Pairing this with Artillery gives all of its Mega Launcher moves perfect accuracy, and it means it has a Stab Zap Cannon that will always go first and never miss. It's pretty busted, especially since it will always paralyze, meaning there's a chance to be hit by it and then not even be able to move the next turn. This means it can just do it again. Dual Wield is also a great ability for letting its Mega Launcher moves hit twice, each at 75% power, including Flame Burst, which has +1 priority and can be really useful at times. In terms of setting up, it only really gets access to Nasty Plot, which can be achieved on a special attacker due to its limited weaknesses and decent special bulk. Its combination of really powerful moves and high special attack make it valuable in a lot of situations. Now I know Delibird has always been a terrible Pokemon, but clearly the future is bright for it because Iron Bundle is a menace. It has decent defensive bulk at 114, but great speed at 136. It has 124 in special attack, but it's basically useless. Its special attack isn't being used at all because of one of its very special abilities. Impulse is the special form of momentum, as all non-contact moves will actually pull from its speed stat, allowing it full nature and EV investment into speed as well as a booster energy, giving it a 50% speed boost. So at max, Iron Bundle enters the field with 612 in speed and basically 612 in special attack, which is just absurd. Mountaineer gives it an immunity to rock moves and stealth rocks. or you could give it pickup, which will remove all hazards as it enters the field. Since you won't be investing any EVs into special attack, they can be used to bulk it up so it won't even be taken out easily, at least from your physical moves. You almost have to hit it with special moves exclusively because failing to take it out with a physical move will trigger its cold rebound ability, letting it use an icy wind for free. And with Iron Bundle's attack stats, this is a lot more than just chip damage. Its move pool isn't that diverse, but it does have the combination of water move plus freeze dry, which hits every single type combination at least neutrally. If you let it get an agility off, good luck. Iron Bundle can easily tear through a team, and it really doesn't need much help to achieve that. And the best future Paradox Pokemon is Iron Valiant. It is absolutely broken. The perfect mixed attacker. Over 120 in both attacking stats and 116 in speed. It gets some of the most overpowered abilities in the game as well, starting with Equinox and Hubris, two of the three that I can pick from. Equinox will make sure both of its attacking stats are always equal, meaning no matter how low one of them gets, moves will always draw from the higher stat, allowing full investment into attack while running special moves. Fluor Cannon is a really powerful fairy type attack, and the main drawback of it is lowering the special attack stat by -2, and it's completely negated because of this. So you can spam it with no problems. Hubris is Soul Heart, so 1 KO and the special attack keeps raising. But these aren't even the best yet. Gallantry is all it needs to be S tier. It can't take damage the first time it's hit. So many uses. It's a free switch in every time, it makes a disgusting revenge killer, it has free setup with Swords Dance or Calm Mind, Agility, or Double Team. It can very easily sweep through a team with little effort. Long Reach will make sure it doesn't pick up any unnecessary burns, as it will never make contact, and it will boost its non-contact moves like Fluor Cannon by 20%. They gave Iron Valiant all the tools it could ever need, and you'll never know what set it's trying to run until it's too late. It's very clearly the best future Paradox Pokemon and one of the strongest in the game overall. So, which of these future Paradox Pokemon is your favorite, and who do you believe is the best? Let me know if there's anything I missed, and let me know if there's any Pokemon you'd like to see me cover next. Don't forget to subscribe and like for more. Shout out to the donuts, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.